I do have to question a group of people that go, oh hey, here's a giant skeleton. Let's build a temple next to it, on it, kind of, over it.
Make sure they receive extra. I'll not let them fall into the goddess's embrace with empty stomachs.
Oh, where's this one go? Boop. Ah, this area. Fair enough. I wish the loads didn't take so long. Okay. What's over here? Wave-crested key. Stew. Everyone likes a good stew. Ah, sneak. Sneak, sneak, sneak. Sneaky, sneak, sneak. From Sneakerton. Wait, if we chat with him...
hello.
Your order attacked me.
Few of us know friend from... They are peaceful in their hearts. It is this... Use the door behind...
Okay. Basically, yeah, they will totally attack us. While convenient, pretending to be the Tidebringer is no longer necessary.
What does the flame reveal?
Okay, now, me.
Just say
here.
the word.
Onward. Hopefully less injured wood, but onward anyway. Fuck.
This is here.
I sure would appreciate it if you would fuck off. Fine. Just get frickin' murdered, fella. Better.
Nothing will slip past me.
Okay, now perform the sign of the tide on the hidden carving. You curl your hand as Koto had done and position it over the carving of the wave. Then using your hand, you trace the arc of the crescent with your index and little fingers. A heavy rumble stirs around you, and from all around you comes the sound of rushing water. And this is how we get across. Gotcha. So, probably best to bring the party along, eh?
Lead the way. I'll take a look. Lead the way.
Okay. So where do they get the, like, new people? Okay, so we open this. Is that it? Like, what else do we need to do to open the gate before? Yeah. Gain access to the reliquary. So what else is there? So there is the thing. Embedded in this deep semicircular slab is what looks to be a vessel for the sprinkling of holy water. In context, however, this looks more like a lever. There are images engraved on the wall behind it, one of a rising wave and one of an open gate. You open the gate, and what happens? How bad is this, I wonder? What? Stop them! Our brethren, do not harm them! Yeah. Echoing voices reach your ears. The words are unintelligible, but you can make out laughter, crying, and cheers. Soon after, shouts of alarm resonate in the distance. With a click, the machine releases its hold on the strange rod. You pack the vessel away.
Andra's tides. Here's hoping the cold gets them before they reach a town.
Yeah. So, I think that will not be a popular decision. I set the low tide freed. We'll probably need to sneak by.
Lead the way.
Okay.
I'm on the trail.
Take that stuff. Take this. Now how do we get to the top then? I think we still kind of want to go up and out. Not confident I made the right choice there. On the other hand, you know, there were people, and as that guy said, they'll totally get the ability to do things once they leave. To form new memories and be less insane. Hopefully. The sacred hall's unsealed. Sacrilege! So where are they headed? Undry Crestwood. Okay. So
I'm here.
if I'm trying to get to the top, right, there's the top of Abbey. There's a reliquary.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, I think we can get there without having everyone try and kill us. And we didn't have to murder a bunch of people. I mean, yes, they all went into it willingly, but they kind of forgotten why they agreed to do it. We did have to murder some people, though. Oh, shit, there was a thing I wanted to get while I was down there. Bugger. So now I have to fight him.
You've made a grave mistake. I will correct it in Andra's name.
Okay. So, Aloth. Start with a bit of a freeze up if you can. Like there. And then follow it up with another one. Everyone else attack and Aloth, Aloth, Aloth. Buddy, pal, mate. Like this. Ouch. I'm dead. So dead. Yeah, didn't even get to stand up. Okay. Insurance, mate, buddy, pal. If you could stop getting smashed, that'd be great. Doing freeze damage to enemies in the area, but last time we did this, yeah, it definitely hits us too. So I feel that is somewhat silly. Petrifying all enemies in the area of effect. Just eat him. Aloth, where are you? Here. Good, the petrification did seem to work.
See if he's really down. Get a good shot.
No, you didn't stop.
Okay. Get him, Mark. Get him. Get him good. Everyone, get him.
Lead the way.
Well, that could have gone better. Mind you, it could have gone a lot worse. Alright, I think it's time to sleep.
Lead the way.
Okay.
Yep.
There we go. That is a skull face, isn't it? Alright, so a voice from the deep. Alright, now what we can do. So that was an achievement, by the way, that I just got, because I just remembered that isn't even visible to you. So firstly, she can actually wear some boots, and she can have this ring, why not? Secondly, what we want to do is
I'm here.
go to the stronghold. In the Ixamodal Plains, Azoshian Lake is renowned for the beautiful flowers that grow along its banks for several weeks every spring. Local farmers harvest the flowers for a spring festival in all the nearby villages. In the past 3 years, 4 people have gone missing during the flower collections. No one has seen the abductions take place, but people in the area have reported hearing a high-pitched whistle from within the tall reeds. When abductees are discovered days later on the shore of the lake, they appear to be happy and smiling, but unaware of the world around them. They never recover from this state, and most die within a few weeks. After several more abductions at the lake, Grieving Mother discovered a previously unknown beast was behind the attacks. A strange ruby-red beetle would grab the locals and feed on their worst memories. Victims would initially fight back, then quickly enter a blissful state and drop their resistance. Unfortunately, the beetle would eventually eat all their memories, and then, yeah, they'd be blank. Grieving Mother tracked them down and killed them, and they were dismayed to learn that hatching eggs were there. So they were discovered in the nest. As a parting gift, a philosopher from Zokian Monastery created a wand for the Grieving Mother from one of the beautiful red reeds from around the lake. Red reed wand, nature's terror. Do you see my son? Do you see your sisters across the moor? Cool, cool. So just summoning wisps. I'll take your junk.
Sure thing.
Okay. Sigoni.
Ready, Watcher.
Is this ever gonna... Oh, it is totally gonna fire soon. Good.
Lead the way.
Never mind. Examine the skull. Of course. But first I want to look around. Okay, so this would be the back entrance to the reliquary, which we totally couldn't do without Andra's gift, even though we could literally see it on the map. Hi, Bullets and Tears. How's it going? Yeah, okay, so now we can use this entrance. Even though it's not like it was covered in water or anything. Okay, right. We're back down here. We're back up here.
Is this what the Abbey was built to hide?
Big ol' skull. Stairs. Ooh. Exceptional scale armor and a sapphire. I stay to continue exploring the area. Yeah, we can't actually leave until we look at the skull. Lodged between rows of crystal and rock, a large fragment of metal protrudes. It looks as though it might be possible to pry it loose. Pull out the metal fragment. At your touch, the splinter of metal begins to glow orange. Heat surges up your hands and envelops you with such intensity you feel as though you're melting down. The heat spreads to the world around you, turning it orange, then yellow, then white. The ground, the sky, everything around you begins to drip in molten globs and begins to take shape beneath you as if in an invisible mold. You and the shard are the last things to melt and fall, and your addition to the molten pool completes the shape of an immense hammer. The metal cools quickly as it had heated. The handle is gripped now with two leathery hands, and the hammer is cocked back over a shoulder as broad and mottled as a hilltop. The wielder whirls around and heaves the hammer, and you are flying upward for what seems like ages into the airless blackness. As you spin, you catch glimpses of a rock large enough to be a moon. It is close, far too close to the world. The force of the impact shatters, hammer and stone alike. The rock is redirected outward, but a section of the front face is cleaved off and begins to fall, splintering apart at the cracks. In 100,000 fragments blossoming outward in all directions, debris showers the atmosphere, trailing smoke and fire. Below, land and sea are far off, but gradually rising. Look to the sea. The largest of the fragments, wide as the city, barrels down in a fiery cocoon. Its size reduces as the edges immolate, but it won't burn up in time. It lands silently in a distant ocean, sending a column of water skyward and radiating ripples that spread like wrinkles in fabric. Then the sound comes tearing through the sky. It sounds like thunder. Look to the land. Features are becoming clearer as you streak toward the earth. You are lodged in an enormous boulder, falling among other fragments that heat and burst around you on all sides. Beneath you, snow-capped mountains rise up, dotted here and there by cities of stone and Adra. The impact will be the destruction of all of them. The shadow of your rock fragment is visible now, getting larger by the second. You are moments away from striking the ground when a massive shape throws itself in your path. The last thing you hear sounds like another rumbling impact, but that isn't what it was. It's a chuckle, relieved, breathless. You hear two words: made it. Everything goes dark. You open your eyes, the metal hammer fragment has come free, and now you hold it in your hands. It is warm to the touch. The air around you is suddenly turbulent, spiteful. A cold, damp wind whips your eyes. Salt crystals collect in your nostrils and the creases of your eyes. The floor below you becomes blue-grey and glassy, churning and roiling. When you fall, you crash through the water. Violent waves hurl and spin you. Something slithers around your ankle, seizes you with incredible strength, and drags you into the silty depths.
This is very good.
When the pulling stops, you are hovering at the center of an endless blue abyss. You can see neither surface nor floor. You seem to be facing downward, but there's no way to be sure. A voice sounds from everywhere at once, and the immense pressure wave of each utterance sends you reeling.
Deceitful wretch! Grave robber! You who dig for that which you did not bury, speak! Explain yourself and be judged.
I seek a means of defeating an army that threatens my land.
You seek what is mine, what was rightfully lost.
The outburst propels you, sending you end over end.
Your actions speak for themselves. The battery opened, the forge ignited. You set free souls that hid from me, that stole from me and evaded my judgment.
Jeez, what a whiner.
The dwarves sealed their own fate. The forge was meant to be forgotten. And now, here you are again, denying peace to the buried.
The turbulence around you calms, silt settles like a slow exhalation. The vast, dark seascape beyond murk fades in. Rays of light trickle down from above onto the green-gold columns of kelp that rise from the depths and sway back and forth in the current. Fish and mollusks patrol them in groups of hundreds and thousands. The nearest pass you with watchful eyes. What are the bones of one god doing sealed in the temple of another's?
Do not play coy with a god, Watcher. I know you have seen his death. I feel it whenever a forgotten thing is taken from me. Abidin did not deserve to die here. This place, it was the least I could do to give his remains some privacy.
The least you could do?
The least I could do for ending his life.
Light drains from your surroundings. The kelp forest becomes a copse of black tendrils, dark and twisting as regret.
I called the moon down to me, Ioni brother. It was against his wishes. He would not listen to reason, would not listen to me. In his madness, he splintered the moon, but it was not enough. The greatest of the fragments still fell toward that which he would protect. In the end, he took position where it would fall, and absorbed the impact himself.
I thought Belefa and Coldla were the moons.
Ioni brother is their smaller sibling. Tiny next to them.
Small enough that the world would survive its impact. But why the temple? Why the secrecy?
That time has been forgotten now. And so his death belongs to me. Everything he was before the impact.
But you slew another god. Surely the other gods know this. Surely Abaddon must know. Current surges through the kelpbed, pushing each plant sideways, like saplings in a hurricane, propelling you backward amidst a torrent of wayward fish.
No! He cannot know! He must never know! Understand, he was not always as he is now. His body was not all he left behind. He was devoted to progress and industry from the beginning. But so too was he devoted to preservation. In those times he would let nothing go. Nothing could be forgotten. His will was iron long before his body.
What was it he was trying to preserve?
Time has finished much of what I started. I cannot tell you that, mortal, for fear of undoing all its costly work.
You make it sound as though you were the sane one.
The other gods knew what had to be done, but they lacked the will to go through with it. Even gods have their attachments. To erase all knowledge of such a grand thing required unthinkable devastation. The Eastern Reach, Deadfire. Mine was the only solution. When I called down Ioni brother, they remained silent. Even Abaddon. He knew it was for the best, but he tried to stop it all the same. Perhaps deep down I knew he would. I should have expected it. I could have stopped it.
Preservation, so that was why he went so far to oppose you.
We agreed long ago, all of us, not to alter the course of Kith's civilization. Not directly. Not unless there were no other choice. But in this matter, there was no other choice. He understood that as well as anyone. It was for duty that he opposed it. I would have stopped it if I could, but by then it was too late.
I want to ask you about something else.
You may ask.
Why did you pull down the army that destroyed the Eyeless? Are they yours?
What the world casts aside, I take into my care. A thing may be forgotten, but it is never alone as long as I am here. They were lost children, abandoned, fixed on a purpose that no longer had meaning. I took them in, gave them new purpose. I did not create them, but yes, they are mine.
They are Abaddon's. I saw them forged.
They were his once. I won't deny it. He created them as assistants to carry out his work on Eora. But he has long been the overseer of progress in the world. Leaving things behind has always been his way. I allow him to leave his past in my care, so that it does not hold him back.
You and Abaddon have a unique connection then.
I suppose we do. But then, the gods have always been able to accomplish far greater things when working together.
Nearby you see a shark pass through a school of fish. The fish scatter, evading the predator.
Speak your mind.
You haven't given me the whole truth about the Eyeless, have you?
Careful what you accuse a god of, mortal.
The waters around you is suddenly icy. You can feel it sap the heat from your veins. Abaddon didn't abandon those creatures. You made him forget them. Otherwise he might remember how he died.
And what if I did, mortal? It does him no harm to forget. On the contrary, it lifts a burden. If Abaddon remembered, it would threaten the harmony between the gods. It was not so long ago that conflict between us led to disaster in your world, and the death of one of our number. Memory is but an image we create to make sense of the present. It carries no truth or meaning but what we ascribe. A slight alteration to it is a small price to pay for peace.
It's wrong to deceive him. I expected better from a god.
Memory deceives. It distorts. It reimagines. This is no different. The peace between the gods is already fragile. It will not withstand another shock.
And
you
something
may
else?
ask.
You say you had to call down Ione Bratha, yet on the other hand you would have stopped it for Abaddon.
The death of a god is a calamity. You are living in the aftermath of one such death. Surely you can understand.
You've said that sympathy can't get in the way. What about yours for Abaddon?
He deserved better. Of all the other gods, he was the only one who acted, who held to his convictions.
The goddess of relentlessness must have appreciated such a quality.
Yes. I admired him for that.
But it's more than that. You loved him. The pull and push of the covenant becomes long and heavy, like a sigh.
Whatever he was to me, it was not meant to last. Always our duty is to Eora first. I knew he opposed what I intended, that he would wish to preserve what I meant to destroy. I knew it would cause a rift that might never be mended, but I never imagined he'd go so far. I never imagined it would mean I would never know him as I once did.
If he doesn't remember dying, why not start again?
Because it might cause him to remember. No, mortal. Better that we should exist as we are now.
Interesting.
What happened once must never happen again. You may ask.
Why did you pull down
The
Ione
great
Bratha?
conundrum of a god is how close to become with your subjects. Too far and they lose hope. Too close and your own judgment fails. Civilizations are meant to ebb and flow. Allow them to persist for too long in power or knowledge, and you invite catastrophe. There was a time when we let our sympathies get the better of us, when memories were allowed to persist that should have been washed away. The other gods could not be moved to act. I did what had to be done without them.
You're talking about the Ingwithans.
I speak of what is forgotten. I failed that day, but my purpose was achieved in the end. I will not dredge up the memory to satisfy idle curiosity.
What do you mean the Forge is meant to be forgotten?
It was never meant for mortal use. Such power, such truths lie within it. It can bring only ruin. When the Pargrunin came to the White March, they were peaceful. They shared common beliefs and purpose. Their visions for the Forge tore them apart. You have seen this for yourself. They would have destroyed themselves in the end.
How convenient that we'll never know.
You need only look to the history of your own civilization for assurance. How many wars, how many fallen empires might have been averted if only their leaders could forget the objects of their ambition. I mourned the loss of the Pargrunin. Misfortune brought them here. They did not deserve to end so soon.
What does it matter if something's remembered or forgotten? It's in the past in either case.
Memories are the spirits of the past. You of all people should know their sway on the present, Watcher.
Perhaps more than I care to admit.
Mortals measure the worth of their lives in memory. Who will remember me? How long until I am forgotten? Memory governs every thought, informs every choice. It can fuel passion, understanding, love, or it can create obsession, madness. You have seen it plague many souls in your travels. Consider the old Watcher who inherited unspeakable crimes from birth, or the young woman who committed herself to Brackenbury for love of things she remembered she had. Or the fisherman whose life became a sentence the day he killed his sister. Or the Glonfathen boy for whom an old medallion was worth more than all the fruits of his labors. They could be free from their burdens, if only they could forget.
Their problems go deeper than memory. Simply forgetting doesn't make them go away.
For some, perhaps. But for many, the memory is all that remains of it.
The light filtering down from the surface seems to focus on Manaha.
You cast your troubling memories aside when you had the opportunity, and you have found the peace you sought.
It's funny. I remember feeling bad, but I don't remember why. It's like having scars for wounds you don't remember. As long as they don't reopen one day, I can live with that.
The source of those wounds is long gone. The memory was all that could do you harm.
Responsibility runs deeper than memory.
Responsibility is another word for guilt. For those who have made amends or were born with the burdens of others, should they not be freed, even when problems have run their course? Memory can be the stone that sinks you into the abyss.
Be that as it may, I must reject your moral paradigm because it engenders an incomplete conception of the good that fails to consider the importance of testing the soul.
Indeed. And what has led you to conclude you know better than a god, mortal?
Your supposition that peace of mind is tantamount to the overall good is a flawed premise. Empirically, we know that struggle and inner turmoil strengthen the soul as often as they strangle it. Zahua nods appreciatively.
My master could not have said it better.
That hardly sounds like an improvement on inner peace.
No,
is that
actually,
the extent of your argument?
No, actually, I submit to you, life is a framework to test the soul, and it's an untested soul that withers from disuse. Consequently, it's better to test the soul in order that it should thrive. If it breaks, it's no worse off than if it were not tested at all.
There may be hope for you yet, Watcher.
Your reasoning is interesting, mortal. Perhaps there is something to it. But it is not my will to simply do good. Those broken souls that fail your test, those are the ones I love most. For no other god will have them. What small mercies they ask of me, I will always grant. Was there something else, mortal?
Yeah, call off the eyeless.
On the contrary, mortal, their work must continue. Far too much was uncovered while they lay dormant.
They draw attention to the very things you wish hidden. In my dreams, I've seen them swarming over the Deerwood.
Those who know too much of the White Forge will be washed clean from Eora, and then the eyeless shall rest once more.
This isn't some lone tribe of dwarves. The Forge sees visitors from all over now. The eyeless will tear the Deerwood apart. It will never be forgotten. The sea life around you stirs back and forth, agitated, restless.
Even if it is as you say, there is nothing that can be done. The eyeless do not think for themselves. They have only the purpose that is given to them.
Well, that's fucking clever, isn't it?
They do not stop until the purpose is fulfilled.
You don't have an off switch for your killer robot army?
They will not change course now for me or anyone. I am sorry.
Curtis said they could be called
Only
off.
if those they pursue are no longer a threat. The raid Sarens were stopped before they could take the White Forge.
If
In
you're
your
gonna
case, Watcher, you are well beyond that now. And if what you say is true, then the Deerwood is as well.
This is your doing. You must intervene.
The interventions of gods seldom work out in anyone's favor. Our touch is too heavy. The world crumbles beneath it.
They're not too heavy to set the fucking army off in the first place.
It is why we so often enlist the help of mortals. They execute our wishes with greater care. I have done far too much already.
If you won't stop them, then I will.
Your determination is commendable. But the eyeless number in the thousands. You will need more than strength or luck.
This is your mess. You better have something to offer.
I will give you what aid I can. I bade the eyeless to remain hidden when at rest. They are gathered in the hollow of a great rock, splintered from Ione Brother. It lies in a flooded crater known as Kairin's Scar. Know, too, that they were built to answer the call of their master's hammer. When they hear it strike, they come to its aid. If you were to take that piece of his hammer from here and reshape it in Abaddon's forge into a likeness of the original, you might be able to call them to you. But destroying them would be another matter. I know of one way, but only from the center of the Lion's Den. Only with their master's hammer in your service. If you can do all this, if you can reshape what remains of Abaddon's hammer and bring it inside their lair, I can instruct you there on what you would need to do.
It'd be easier if you told me now.
Nothing I say will make sense until you see it for yourself, mortal. We share a common purpose now. I will see you through it when the time comes.
I will remake the hammer in the White Forge and stop the eyeless then.
If you do not, be assured, they will come for you as they did for the Pargrunen.
An uneasy turbulence disturbs a calm like an unwelcome
Careful
thought.
as you approach the lake. When I claimed the eyeless, I made sure they would not be discovered while they slept. Many of my most devoted followers stand watch there. They will not allow you near.
Contact them at all?
And there is something far worse. Something more fearsome and dangerous than any eyeless. Let us hope you do not attract its attention.
More dangerous? You can't just add that there casually. In place of an answer, a sudden surge in the current from beneath sends you hurtling upward. The surface above you approaches fast, shifting and shimmering like quicksilver. You emerge soaking wet on the stone floor of the reliquary, gasping for breath as if you've been holding it for hours. I am not impressed, Andra.
I'm here.
That's bloody stupid. I mean, really? You gotta be kidding me. Firstly, you tell me, hey, there's something more dangerous you probably don't want to catch the attention of. You don't tell us anything about it. And then, you also set your killer robot army up with unclear instructions and no way to turn it off. That's just irresponsible. If you're gonna interfere, maybe, be clever about interfering. Ridiculous. Okay, Grace. I will give you a pat. Good girl. Alright, let's go up.
Will do.
Travel directly to the foundry in Durgan's battery. So all of these back ways into this area, too. Like, why did... Whatever. I guess every entrance was covered by water, even though we only saw one, the most obvious and obnoxious one. Okay. Incredible heap ripples upward from the white forge and laps at your exposed skin. The fragment of Abaddon's hammer grows warm in your hands as if in recognition. It is only a fraction of the size of the original, but there's metal enough to create a hammer to fit for a person your size to wield. In this forge, the fragment could be shaped anew, recreated. You call to mind every memory you have witnessed of the great hammer. The images coalesce and take shape in your mind. You know every curve, every engraving, even as a shapeless lump of metal, you see the fragment what it's meant to become. The fragment is slow to heat, even in the white forge, and quick to cool as you work it against the anvil. Sweat drizzles down your body and puddles at your feet. Your arm grows sore with each swing of your forge until you can barely lift it. Forge hammer, rather. You don't swing the forge itself, that would be silly. Minutes to turn to hours as Abaddon's hammer begins to take shape. The ring of your own hammer against it takes on a familiar tone, one that you've heard in your dreams. With each strike, an image flashes in your mind. It's hazy at first, but it gains detail as the hammer begins to resemble the original. Over time, the image becomes a frozen lake landscape centered around a crater lake. Eyeless patrol its frozen surface in droves. This can only be the place Andra described, Kayron's Scar. The eyeless pause here and there when you strike and look up, as though hearing the echo in the wind. In the distance, more details appear. You can see other landmarks, Stalwart, Durgan's battery, and you understand where the lake lies in the White March, where you must take this hammer. Finally, with the careful etching of the last detail with the chisel, the hammer is complete. No sooner do you make the final mark than you feel a pure, radiant energy pulsing from within it like a mechanical heartbeat. There is an indescribable beauty to the shape and the weight of the design. It feels as though this is a realization of the metal's purpose. You take up the hammer, and the power rushes over you in waves. It shakes your body so hard you nearly drop to your knees. The tremor passes, but the surge of power remains. The hair on your arm stands on end. In your hands is the faithful recreation of a divine instrument.
I thought it would be bigger.
Okay. So, people come to chat with us. Hey everybody, how's it hanging?
I've heard enough.
The sounds of an argument reach you from the stairs. Dayron marches into the room, arms crossed, while Wengra bounds along behind him.
This threatens all of us now.
Matron Berrigan lumbers after Dayron and Wengra, flanked by two stout ogres.
She's right.
We've got to fight together.
You also recognize Adirik following them. His shoulders are rigid and his arms are clasped in front of him. Wengra sees you and points enthusiastically.
See, Darien, she'll tell ya. We can stop them.
Tension crackles in the air. Darien whirls and cuts Wengra off with the chopping machine.
If she's seen them, she knows better.
What's going on here?
Something killed a whole crew of hunters out in the wood. Tore them apart like dolls. Insects.
Despite his steady posture, his eyes flit and flicker like flies and his upper lip shines with sweat.
Something like the creatures that attacked my fort, perhaps?
Berrigan mutters something to her escort and they snort in agitation.
I told ya! All we gotta do is get him in range of these cannons and then we blast them!
She brings her hands together in a loud clap.
We don't even know what they are!
He shuts his eyes and breathes loudly through his nose. I do. Okay. They're the playthings of foolish and irresponsible gods.
The destruction my dreams warned me of.
Suddenly she rounds on Wengra and Darien.
And your greed and recklessness have brought them on us all!
She rolls her back and bares her teeth at the two villagers. Rage hangs around her like a musk. Darien and Wengra each take a step back and square off against the ogres.
You burning our village didn't help matters none.
It wasn't my clan that attacked you.
No difference. One ogre stinks as bad as the next.
Berrigan, did you come all the way out here to say, I told you so?
I came to offer my clan's help. The White March has been our home for centuries. We'll defend it alongside you.
Your aid would be welcome. She presents an ancient banded horn in both of her calloused hands, holding it out to you.
Sound it anywhere in the White March, and 3 of my best warriors will be at your side. Your battles become ours.
Okay. Simple. I thought you might hang around and, like, chat about the issues, but sure, we'll take it.
What's your plan for dealing with them exactly?
The eyeless are hidden at Kieran's Scar. I'll face them there. Wengra and Darien gape at each other in disbelief.
That lake's notorious. Folk never come back from that. Oh!
You'll need all the help you can get. I have fewer men to offer than I would like, but the iron flail stands ready. Our siege weapons are at your disposal.
The same ones you threw at the battery's walls?
These eyeless will come for us all if they aren't stopped here and now.
Forget it. You're not bringing your army into our backyard.
He looks to you and nods.
Tell him.
Alright, look. Adirik's right. We need to work together. There's no time to worry about what's past, Darien.
Guess you're right. Won't be anything left of Stalwart if we don't stop these monsters anyway.
He looks down at the spot his heel is ground into the grit. We'll assemble at Carrion Scar and await your orders. Be careful, be ready, my friend. It will be a great battle. Yep, it will. Okie dokie.
Ahem. You know, those heavy cannons you fixed might come in handy.
They might. Darien begins to groan. She holds up both hands.
Hear me out. Kieran's Scar should be just in range for those guns. You just point out your target and I'll do the rest.
If those things are on the move, we don't have much time. If you're really gonna stop them, take this. It's the best of the ore we've pulled from Stalwart's mines. It's not much, but it's good enough to make the old Pargrunen smiths proud. I'm sorry about what I said before. Just don't take it out on the rest of the village.
Okay, cool. So that is very much like, here are the final preparations. Okay, yep, cool. Can go for that, yep, cool. Burning pitch trebuchet. Okay, and heavy cannon blast.
I'm here.
So, let's see.
Just say the word.
I assume these are abilities somewhere? Or items. Are they items or abilities? Abilities or items? Unlabored blade. Alright, so Abaddon's hammer is also +4 might. Yeah. I mean, big two-handed weapon is not something I'm actually built to use, is kind of the problem here. So, bind it to him? Abaddon's Labor. Ring of the Ancient Forge. Stun, yep. Abaddon's Labor, once per encounter, sure. Causes fatigue. And just on hit, on crit, you instantly kill him. Cool. Now, I want my weapons back. Thank you very much. So I can at least try and finish these off. Okay, next. We go here. White Forge. Refined ingots. Craft. So now I've got refined ingots. Cool.
Tell me.
Don't really know what else we're going to do with that. Alright, other things. Okay, drop these off. Here's the horn. Okay, Durance, you can get that horn. What else? Where else would these things have gone? Fine battle axe, don't care. Okay, maybe they went in here? Like, did we get an item or did we get an ability? I don't quite get what happened there at the end. Especially since the interface kind of broke a little. Alright, so. Let's take a look at quest items, maybe? In the stash? No. They're not consumables, though. But maybe they go in the same spot? Maybe they just go in the magic item thing. Okay, so clearly summoning items do that, yes. So they definitely do go in that slot. But I just don't see where I'm actually meant to use those things. Anyway, Nautilus. You don't have a phone a friend item. Okay, cool. So, let's have a look at this again.
Yeah.
Oh, Corral's Blessing. No, those are from items. Yeah, these are also from items, combat only. Okay, here are Watcher Powers. Here's Scale Breaker, Vulnerable Attack. So,
yes.
Yeah.
If it's not an item, then there's got to be some other way of doing it. But anyway, we leave. Okay, travel directly to Karen Scar. I think the game is basically telling me it's time to go mess shit up. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a break. I'll come back later, and we will deal with Karen Scar. Until next time, have a great day. Bye.